to me, particularly today, because today is the last day of Teacher Appreciation Week. And one thing that we know about educators is that educators often feel very unappreciated, and we feel like we do a very thankless job. And I'm here today to tell you that from P12 to higher ed, we also do a very poor job of praising each other. So I'm here today to use the words from Saturday Night Live. You are good enough, you're smart enough, doggone it, people like you. And if you need more than that, look at the faces of the students this afternoon. If you need more than that, look at the parents at graduation. They send their children to us not to send them back there where they were. They send them to us to change them. And what we do is we take potential and we actualize that. And that is powerful. How wonderful are you? What we do together is positive. What we do together is productive. It has been a year of challenges, it has been a year of change. But in education, we know that because of change, we learn. And because we learn, we change. And it's a cycle. And if we're not in that cycle, we're standing still. And we have no momentum. And what this assembly is about highlighting the momentum that we do have. That wonderful power that we share. So I want to start off today by recognizing our faculty senate. We have two senators who are leaving our senate, and they were recognized earlier at our last senate meeting for this semester. And that is Jennifer Moore. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And Jeanette Allen, who is not with us today, but they both received certificates, and we'll make sure Jeanette gets hers. We have two new senators that will be joining us. That is Walter Kill. Thank you, Walter, for agreeing to join us. And Davey Gibbs, who actually made it to our very first Senate meeting with 10 minutes notice. So I can tell he's going to be a fabulous, very willing participant. We're going to move on by having some updates from all of our schools and our libraries, just so that we know some of the wonderful things that really do happen right here at Piedmont. And so I'm going to start off with our School of Arts and Sciences and Tony Fry.
We've had a lot of activities this year in the School of Arts and Sciences. I can't spend a long time going over it. Theater productions, especially. Also all the conferences that were departmental in nature as well, and natural sciences, the social sciences. We were very active. The thing that for me this year that really stood out for the School of Arts and Sciences and for our school itself was the April 17th Research Day Pride event. And I have to say thank you first and foremost to the QEP for overseeing this. And I have to also tell you, the School of Arts and Sciences had the largest representation at that event. And the majority of my class, my senior capstone class, was there. And I was really impressed, and I told them, and I meant it, that when I was an undergraduate, they were way ahead of me where I was when I was an undergraduate in terms of research. I really never, 3 decades ago, learned true methods until I was in graduate school. It took me a little while. And now we're giving them those tools to prepare them when they get out of here, not just in the real world, but in graduate school as well. And I can also say this year, I had a personal interaction with a student that was in a neighboring high school here. They're learning research methods and senior capstones at the high school level now. So they're going to be prepared when they come to us, and they're going to be expecting these types of events. And by having this, it's a benefit to all of them. And so for them, for this college, thank you. Thank you for doing that, and I look forward to next year.
From the School of Business, we have Keith Young.
A quick review of a very active
First of all, the big ticket item was accreditation. We are accredited by the Accreditation Council of Business School Programs. We always say ACBSP, and I have to look it up. See, what is it we stand for? We completed our 10-year site visit. Kudos to Dr. Taylor, our dean, to Kerry Waller, to Jeff Brune, and particularly to Katie Coker for pulling it all together. We are reaccredited for a decade. We do not have to fulfill any annual quality reports for the first 5 years. There were no conditions, no exceptions, no notes. And of the 1,200 programs that are accredited by ACBSP, less than 5% get through the accreditation process with no notes, no conditions, etc. So I think that says a great deal about the quality of work we're doing, and I appreciate the team for putting it together to represent what we've done. We have embraced the QEP high impact practices and are integrating it into courses. Lots of research in courses in our special upper division, active projects with businesses in the community in which they can apply what they're learning in the classroom. We had very good presentations at the Pride event. And two of next year's, if I understand it correctly, two of next year's QEP fellows are business faculty, Sam Lamont and Margaret Ryder. So very active in the QEP high impact practices initiative. Formalized development of a developmental advisory system. We have a faculty handbook for developmental advising for our advisors. We have been assessing how well our advisors are performing on interpersonal relations, helping behaviors, advising preparations, and availability. All of our advisors met or exceeded the goals, and we have a retention rate in the School of Business of 90% for our students. This handbook was presented at conferences with ACBSP. I'll let you go back with your notes to figure out what that means. And copies of our handbook were requested for other colleges to mimic and utilize. So again, good quality job there with our faculty involved. We have had a problem in the School of Business with our freshman courses for a number of years. When we evaluate and assess student satisfaction, student engagement in our courses in upper division, very high marks. You know, freshman classes, courses have been low. Through some considerable effort, and this is a historical trend. This past fall, we brought the freshman assessment numbers up to what our sophomore, juniors, and seniors feel about the courses. So again, we feel like that was very successful. As part of our capstone process, we participated in the Peregrine CPC, which is the common professional component. I always have to look those initials up. That is a national test for business schools, and we maintain 50% or 50 percentile or higher compared to schools nationally, which is in the band that is appropriate for our students. Faculty continue to be involved in research and presentations and publications at the required or expected pace. Our first cohort of the hospitality concentration, which takes place in Athens, that group will graduate in the next few months. We want to note that the University System of Georgia's president, UGA's president, has an award called Fulfilling the Dream Award for service to the community of Athens. This year, that award was presented to Michelle Pearson, who is a Piedmont College undergraduate and Piedmont College MBA. So, you know, go dogs. We are making an impact elsewhere. We want to note the passing, the retirement of Bob. And that pretty well sums it up. Thank you.
The School of Education this year, we've been operating with interim dean dean, but we have a new dean that will be joining us very soon. He was just here last week for a visit, and that is R.D. Norgren, and he comes to us from California, and we are very, very excited to have him. We also have a new associate dean, Dr. Susan Goss. She's not here today because her stepdaughter's graduating from UGA. First, I want to say thank you to Dr. Charles Picado and to Professor Susan Smith-Patrick for all of their years of dedication to Piedmont and all that they have done. They are retiring this year, so we already miss them, and they have not left us yet. For the School of Education, we have many Teachers of the Year this year who are alumni. We are proceeding with a Tier 2 leadership. We are proceeding with some endorsements, which are add-ons to certificates that the PSC has. They're particularly interested in Piedmont rolling out those endorsements, and so that's really wonderful for us. But we have spent most of our year collecting data and analyzing ourselves for our professional standards review, and they will be on campus to review us in the fall. So we're excited about that. We also had one of our largest and most successful PERC conferences that we have had so far. This was our seventh PERC conference, and it was very well attended, not only by our students, by some of your students as well, and also by some of you as faculty. The School of Ed also appreciates everyone's support this year for helping us along. Sometimes we needed to reach out. But we are very, very positive about the fall and going forward. So next we have libraries. If you saw me on my phone, I promise I was not texting. Jeanette sent me notes. I just want to make sure that I read this for you. So the library would like to highlight that they have upgraded their interlibrary loan service. They are upgrading the book catalog system. And two of the specials collection, the May Ivy Valise collection and the Johnny Mays collection, have been digitized and are discoverable through Digital Library of Georgia. Any glasses or anything that you would like to add about the wonderful things that happened in the library? School of Nursing and Health Sciences. Do we have
Maria's going.
Maria, okay.
I just found out, so I'll do something.
You want to text a friend?
Everybody's been out here pointing.
That's who goes.
Just very quickly trying to think of some things to highlight within the School of Nursing and Health Sciences. And John may have some more in health sciences. You want to come up here, Dr. Bader?
No, this is y'all, supposed to be y'all.
One thing that I know we've done this year is we have really tried to get the nursing faculty involved in assessment. That's always been just a few people. So we've come up with new student learning outcomes. We've involved all the faculty in assessing that. So that's been a nice area that we've done. No major changes in curriculum or anything like that. That's the main thing that I can think of. Is that's one of the things we're doing.
Our incoming class.
Okay, and we've had our largest graduation. In fact, we have our largest number of graduates.
The largest coming in this summer.
I know, and I was going to say that
Okay,
too.
sorry.
We have our largest graduating class this Saturday, so we're proud of that. And then we have our largest incoming group of juniors coming in this summer that we've ever had before between our Demorest and Athens campus. So the faculty are working hard. Thank you.
Specifically in health sciences, we have 18 that were at our Pride event. Our AT program is accredited at the master's level. We have 2 new graduate programs starting this June, and we have a new hire in health sciences, the 5th faculty member. Did I miss it? Thanks.
And Dr. Silver will give us an update on our strategic planning efforts.
Good afternoon. I figured it had been a little while since we had an opportunity to do a strategic planning update, and I don't want to go into great detail. But as probably most of you are aware, we have about 25 different college-wide strategic initiatives underway, each one of them led by the chair of a task force. A lot of work is going on in a number of different areas, including academic advising, the development of a new first-year experience program, student mentoring and job placement programs, strategic enrollment planning, strategic market research into new academic programs, facilities, space utilization, professional development, lots of different areas. We've already begun seeing some of the fruits of that effort with the student planning software that we started using for purposes of advising, with a new software that we are going to be acquiring here in the fall, and that Emily Pettit will have a few words to say about a little bit later. It's called Starfish, and it'll be a retention solution software that we'll be using. So all of this ties into our strategic planning efforts. The one that I wanted to maybe spend a few minutes telling you a little bit more in depth about is one that I think is near and dear to faculty hearts, and that is the new faculty evaluation system that we're developing. So I just wanted to let folks know where that is in its development. With respect to all of the strategic initiatives, you can actually find where we are on those online. If you go to PilgrimNet and look at the VPAA page on PilgrimNet, on WebAdvisor, go to PilgrimNet, WebAdvisor, click on resources, and you'll get to the VPAA page. We actually have posted a very elaborate document we call the Strategic Planning Matrix. Dan Smith has developed this, and it provides up through, I guess the latest iteration of it is April 15th of this year. It provides you with a set of milestones for each initiative, the progress that has been made up to date on that initiative, and then the upcoming next steps with that initiative. So there's a lot of information in this document. But just to be kind of quick about the evaluation system efforts that we're making, I think it's fair to say that the need for a faculty evaluation system that was a little bit different from what we have been using up to now, which is really, from what I see, a not fully uniform or standard approach. It looks like different schools do somewhat different things, although similar things, in the course of evaluating faculty members, whether it's on an annual basis or for promotion purposes. What we're looking at is a more standardized process. Much of the impetus for that is through our conversations with the Board of Trustees, the sense that if we could develop a more uniform, reliable evaluation system, that we would, in effect, close or provide an answer to one of the questions that the Board of Trustees has had that needed to be answered in order for us to move in the direction of multi-year contracts. So I know that has been a conversation that has been taking place over the past few years, probably. And in order to move forward with a multi-year contract proposal, we thought we need to actually satisfy the board that we have an effective faculty evaluation system in place. So that was part of the impetus for that. So here's where we are right now. The Strategic Initiative Group is meeting. Steve Nimmo is the chair of that group. Right now what we envision is using the calendar year 2020 as the review period during which that new evaluation system will be implemented. So fall of 19, which is coming up, doesn't fall into that. We would still be under whatever current evaluation system we have for that. But starting the 2020 calendar year, that would be when the review period takes place. The evaluations using the new system for faculty that would take place on performance during the 2020 calendar year review period would be in the spring of 2021. Right, so that's the time frame. In terms of what is this evaluation system going to look like, is it going to be radically different from what currently is taking place? I would say not radically. For example, we currently have 4 main categories on which faculty performance is evaluated. All right? Those are going to stay the same. Right? So we'll have teaching, we have advising, we have scholarship, we have service. So those broad categories will stay the same. What Dean Nimmo's group has been doing is working across the schools to try to standardize the sources of input for faculty evaluations. Right? And so there's come to be some agreement among that strategic initiative group about what some of those sources of evidence would be, and they include things like faculty self-evaluations or self-evaluation portfolios, department chair evaluations, measures of student success in achieving learning outcomes in courses and programs, student advising surveys, documentation of committee service, involvement in professional development, whether attendance at conferences or presentation at conferences, products of one's professional work in professional development. All of those would be sources of input, right? And the idea is to then standardize this across all the schools, so that we don't have one school evaluating faculty on a certain set of measures and a different school evaluating faculty on a significantly different set of measures. We like uniformity, and so that's what this group is trying to achieve, and I think they're making good progress towards it. If we can achieve the goal here, again, the target date is we would have the system in place. At the end of the fall, this coming fall, we would actually implement it. We'd have the review period in the 2020 calendar year. Evaluations based upon that new system would be in the spring of 21. We're saying this now, it's going to be upon us before we know it, and so I just thought we should take an opportunity to let folks know that this is in the works. This is going to happen. There is faculty input into the process. I'd like to mention the membership of the committee, but you can find this online. But essentially, the committee consists of the 4 deans of the schools. It also includes the dean of libraries. I'm on it, and we also have faculty senate representation. The faculty senate personnel subcommittee, that membership is on this group as well. So it's a mix of faculty and administrators who've been working through this. Probably you're aware of this to some degree because the faculty representatives from the schools have been speaking with the schools about the sources of input that they would prefer for the evaluation system. But just kind of a heads up, this is what we're doing, we've been working on it, and we anticipate rolling out the system in advance of the 2020 calendar year so that everybody knows what the rules of the game are, right? The terms on which one is going to be evaluated and the sources of input for those evaluations. Okay? So that was just by way of update. Any questions about all of that? Yeah.
A couple of questions, Dan. First of all, I caught something in there. I understand fully the logic of moving to a standardized across the board. That makes all the sense in the world. But what doesn't quite make sense to me is the connection between that and multi-year contracts, because it looks like you would need just as high quality evaluation system to have a 1-year contract. So do the trustees feel like our evaluation system to date has been insufficient?
Well, I don't know if insufficient, but not sufficiently standardized, I would say. That is, it looks as though you've got, and they're not, I don't believe that you've got radically different evaluation systems in the different schools, but there are some differences. And so it would be good if we are to move in a concerted way, towards multi-year contracts. We would want to have a more uniform system that we could then explain to the board of trustees and that they could have full confidence in.
And that makes all sense in the world. The other question I have is, do you know why the contracts are coming out so late this year?
Well, we are making the shift to 9-month contracts. They're coming out perhaps a little later, but as we said in the announcement that included the attachment of the agenda for this meeting, they will be out by May 31st, and probably before then, but I didn't want to commit myself to before then. But I'm hopeful that here in the next week or so that they become mass. But we're saying May 31st for sure. I hope that's okay to say, Rosemary. We've got things together. There's been a little bit of a delay on our end, but these things do happen. I don't believe that there's a knockdown, drop dead date on those usually, but there has been a tradition of getting them out a little earlier, and we'll try to get it out.
And just a point of reference for you, since this is year 1 for you, there was a very definitive time frame that was given in the faculty policies and procedures in years past that has now been changed. Okay. It was April. It was defined as April. And one of the things that I could suggest, just using that as an example, if we're going to make changes to policy and procedure that affect us as faculty, please at least put the date that the change has been made, and we've had that conversation before, and then put that out to the faculty so we're aware when changes are made. May 31st is by far, in my 22 years here, that is well outside the bounds of where we've been before, and there's been a lot of angst amongst faculty.
Okay, well, hopefully this comment helps alleviate the angst. We're working on it. The delay has been across the board. Certainly no individual faculty member has been singled out for delay. It's just unfortunately there was a little bit more of a delay as we took a look at the contracts and try to, and it is my first year, and as we try to iron out this or that discrepancy in a contract or confusion about a contract, and we can work through those, I believe, in a way that is pretty satisfactory at this point. So we're going to get those out shortly. I do just want to comment on your request for notification about changes to the policy and procedures manual. That is something we're going to be doing. I think in our announcement this week, we included a summary of the changes that have taken place that have been approved by the board at their last meeting. But in any case, that is going to be a practice that we engage in from here from this point forward. And we've got changes to the handbook. We'll have a kind of what you might call a change log, and it'll identify what the policy number is, and just a real brief description of what the change is, and then of course the policy manual will also be published. The purpose of the change log is to just make it easier to reference what those changes are.
Dr. Silver, other than the time frame change, 10 month to 9 month, will there be any other changes in the contract?
Well,
Language?
not in a general sense. I mean, that is, you've got a 9-month contract period. I think I spoke at the April 2nd meeting about some of the date changes in terms of faculty being available for, reporting to campus and being available for different kinds of training that we're going to want to do at the beginning of the year. So that's something that is being clarified.
Okay.
Certainly, faculty salaries are not affected by the change to a 9-month contract. And also, thanks to the efforts of the Senate, we have been able to work out an agreeable solution to the payments that take place over the 12-month period as well. Anything else? Okay, thanks.
We would like to hear from Bill Nye and Lynn Rainbow, and they're going to give us a brief introduction or maybe update to our STEM camp that we offer during the summer.
Well, thank you for giving us this opportunity to share a real exciting opportunity we want to bestow to Piedmont College faculty and staff. We are having our 4th annual STEM summer camp. We have 45 campers ranging from 6th grade to 10th grade that live on campus for 4 days. This year our theme is going to be environmental sustainability, and the teachers that are designing the program for our students this year are actually our STEM endorsement candidates, Cohort 1, the first group that's going through and they're designing this. Now, our theme being environmental sustainability and rising 6th to 10th graders, we have had some fun the last few years with our Woodrow Wilson Fellows who have actually organized our camps, and we've been able to use grant money in the past in order to bring people in from the community. This year we're making ourselves sustainable and we need to have financial sustainability, so we are charging $350 to the public for the camp. The activities are incredible and many of them lead to projects that the students actually get to continue the following year at home. But Piedmont faculty and staff, anybody that has a niece, a nephew, a child, a cousin, somebody in that age group, grandkids that want to be involved, please, you'll see an email from me and from Glenn, and it's going to explain a little bit about our camp and a $100 discount that we can offer our faculty and staff family here at Piedmont. We're excited to be able to do that. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us, and we'd be more than happy to answer those. But we're really excited. We have a handful of openings still available, but we wanted to offer it to our Piedmont faculty and staff before we open it up to the rest of the public. So we have returning campers every single year, and they're starting to fill up. But please make that decision within the next couple of weeks if you want to take advantage of that, and we hope that a number of you do as you have in the past.
Bill said almost everything that I was about to share. I just wanted to say this is a legacy activity from the Woodrow Wilson Teaching Fellowship. This is the 4th year we will have hosted a STEM camp. The first year we had 2 day camps serving 2 different groups of students with phenomenal outcomes. The second year, our group of fellows chose to host an overnight, 4-night, 5-day-long residential camp. They designed it, they implemented it, they carried it out, and changed lives. I mean, the feedback we got from the parents of the students who attended just it gives me chills to think about kids who were not feeling efficacious in the fields of STEM or in school in general really began to shine the next year. They gained a lot of self-confidence and really began to find a place for themselves in the area of STEM. And these are, late elementary, middle school kids to early high school kids. The 3rd year, we had another residential STEM camp, like we will again this year, 5 days and 4 nights. So campers come in on Monday morning. The days are filled with STEM-related activities that are designed by and connected across the week, designed by this year our STEM endorsement candidates. And the evenings are filled with things that are activities that are on campus. So some things that allow for free time and exploration and mixing and mingling of of kids who otherwise may not find themselves together at camp. We are hoping this year to be able to offer several scholarships to campers who otherwise would not be able to afford the $350 camp fee. Our first year was free. Our second year, we charged $50. Our third year, we charged $100. We had grant funding to supplement the cost of the camp. This year, as Bill mentioned, we're having to develop a system to self-sustain. So obviously, the fees have gone up. It's still a great bargain for 4 nights and 5 days worth of wonderful educational activities. So we're looking forward to this being the STEM endorsement kind of activity moving forward. So we'll have hopefully a 5th and a 6th STEM camp. So again, any questions, certainly reach out to Bill or to myself. You've gotten
When is the camp?
June 24th through the 28th, my apologies.
Bill sent this email out, or this is an attachment to an email that went out at the beginning of this meeting. So if you check your email, you'll have some additional information on the STEM camp, the link to share with folks to apply for the STEM camp, a little bit about the theme for this year as well, and the dates.
And if you're on campus, come by and see what we do. The kids have a fantastic time, and we do as well. Hope to help you out. Thank you.
I can't say enough good things about STEM camp. My children have gone, my daughter has gone every year. Chris Kelly, I think your kids have gone every year, and they really have enjoyed it. And they get to do so many things that as P-12 students, they don't normally get to do. When they extracted DNA from a strawberry, that was a really big deal for them. So it really is a great opportunity if you have, if you know of somebody who is really interested in science. And we are going to conclude today with Emily Pettit, and she's going to tell us about some exciting things that are coming up.
I'm Emily Pettit, Dean of Student Engagement. Thanks for letting me come and be a part of your conversation today. I want to echo what I heard Dr. Lane say at the beginning of this, which is talking about the reminder of the transformative learning that you all are a significant part of as you're a part of the journey with these students when they come in the door, and certainly in celebration this evening and tomorrow as they walk across that stage, which is the end goal for all of us. And it doesn't happen without the partnership of everybody in this room and all of the offices across campus. So thank you for that. I also want to say a personal thanks to each of you as faculty and administrators in the room that have worked with me personally to support the student success on the very many different levels that might mean, to make sure that they're being the best student they can be inside the classroom. And we know that in this small community of learners, it means a full supportive wrap around the students. And I can't thank you enough for the partnership I feel each time I make a phone call, an email, or receive communication from you that a student needs me, or I need to reach out to you to say, what can we do to work together? And as a result of that, I think we'll see students walking across that stage tomorrow that have been the beneficiary of your kind support for that. So thank you very much for your support and partnership. A couple of things before I get to this. Just wanted to say that in partnership with, well, not partnership, in terms of supporting QEP efforts, particularly in the area of leadership, we have more and more leadership opportunities on campus. It's growing, and I'm excited. I want to tell you that we kicked off an LIT program. We call that Leadership and Training. Just over the past couple of weeks, some of you in the room may have actually spoken with our leaders. I had about 70 folks in the Student Success Center just this week to talk about ethics and integrity and how they lead by example. So we're moving forward with those. Some of our premier leadership groups that were involved were the SAIL program, Team Piedmont, Maine, which are our summer orientation leaders, Residence Life, and there are other ones that were involved in that. But we're very excited about seeing more and more leadership opportunities across campus. Megan Ramsey with Compass Experiential Learning wanted me to share with you all the number one, everybody's graduating. We don't have any trouble with our experiential learning credits being completed. But she's also excited that we developed a Compass Program Honor Society in the past couple of years, and that recognizes students who exceed the 45-hour experiential learning requirement. And she's got 20 graduates going across the stage tomorrow with a special honor board to represent that overachievement on their part. So we're excited to honor them. SAIL program was in its pilot year last year. Some of you were involved with us in terms of maybe being a captain or helping design the program. We're going to have year 2 of our pilot. We've got 40 incoming students that will be selected for that program. We have 20 upper level navigators. There's those peer mentors, guides, And then we've got 12 crew members and 20 captains. Many of you are in this room. That's faculty and staff members that will carefully guide those students that are part of that special cohort of SAIL members. And that's going to kick off in the fall with a 3-day retreat, and then we'll work with them all throughout the year. The journey through the SAIL program is targeted to help these students work on issues such as leadership, time management, organization, communication and writing skills, financial literacy, emotional intelligence, academic and social balance, and that's for the whole school year. You can understand the importance of each of those that I just mentioned, and seeing the student be successful to matriculate to the sophomore year. Also over in the Learning Center this year, we developed a new program called Seeking New Academic Potential, or SNAP as the students like to call it. That was to support those students in some of the sciences and math classes with additional support outside the classroom to bolster what you all were doing inside the classroom, making sure that they were able to successfully complete those courses. We did see some positive success rates of passing of those classes, and we look to see more of that. Career Services started a new program called Campus to Career. Lisa Mann started that this spring semester. You'll see more of that in the future. Look forward to partnering with you if you're interested in that area. What she did was she went to Athens and she found 3 different companies where we took the students for an immersive experiential learning opportunity. They went to 2 of these locations. One was Docebo. We were excited to see that several of our alumni were the folks that were working at Docebo that met with our students and talked to them about opportunities in that particular business. We also met with Edward Jones and then PharmD, P-H-A-R-M, PharmD, we met with them. If you are know alumni in the field, they're doing amazing things that we might be able to go to their place of work and have an immersive learning experience with our current students, please reach out to Lisa Mann. She's excited about growing that program. We have found that sometimes that's one of the best ways to connect a student with a career, if they can see it up close and personal. And that way we find the right match for everybody, which is everyone's goal. Moving over to the student life side of the house, orientations for the summer for our brand new students coming in are Thursday, May 30th, Tuesday, June 4th, and Tuesday, July 23rd. Excuse me. Many of you are participating in that, and if you're on campus, you'll see a lot of happy, excited faces walking around campus, probably some nervous faces as well, but please do engage with those folks as you see and welcome our new families into the Piedmont community during those orientation events. Freshmen are going to be moving in on Tuesday, August 8th. As you all know, we started the calendar year this year on a Monday, so we had to back up our move-in day. In the past, it's been on a Saturday, and many of you wanted to participate in the move-in, but haven't been able to because it was the weekend. We're excited this year that it's going to be on Thursday, August 8th, and we would love to have as many of you all as possible to participate. Now, in the past, Dr. Crawford's been able to give t-shirts to folks that participated. I can tell you that from the families who were there that day, there's a lot of both excitement and nerves that happen with the first day of moving in, and the fact that they see those of you all that are going to be in the classroom supporting the student journey for the next 4 years, getting to meet you up close and personal as perhaps maybe you grab a box and you help them move it in, it really does go a long way in part of what the Piedmont family experience is about. So I do hope we have as many volunteers as you're willing to do for us on that Thursday. And not all jobs are moving and picking up things, so if you were a better fit for another position, just talk with us. We can find something for everybody. Welcome week is after the students move on campus, the freshmen, so starting from that Thursday all the way through for the next week, we'll start classes with you on Monday. Sometimes you all come to us and say there's a particular topic you want presented or discussed. We're open to that. Just let us know. Dr. Kim Crawford is who you want to communicate with, and any presentation topics or ideas that you have, just let us know. We'll add that to the docket during that very important week when the students are first arriving on campus. Club fair. Many of you are advisors for some of the clubs we have on campus. Our club fairs where we all get together, especially right at the beginning of the school year, to introduce those leadership and club opportunities for students. And we would like for you to be aware that that's August 13th, and we will be doing tabling like we did before. So please put that on your calendars. Dr. Crawford this year has been working to enhance our leadership training in a more formal role, both in cooperation with QEP, but because it's something we know that our employers are looking for once our students graduate, those leadership skills. So we want to fully prepare our students to be very successful on the back end. I say that to say that she's been trained in administering the StrengthsFinder program or assessment tool, and she's come to some of your classes to do that with your students. She's open and available for that. If you're interested, email her and she can coordinate with you based on your schedule. But she's done a number of those throughout the year and would like to do more in the future, so that's really just kind of a plug for that upcoming program. Shifting gears just a bit, Dr. Silver mentioned it earlier. Some of you that have been working with us through the MapWorks program may be aware that the software, which is a retention tool, is being decommissioned August 1st. And we have identified another tool that's going to help us with it. It's going to be a student success solution that we're going to be able to utilize campus-wide to make sure that we're all able to communicate in one centralized place to support the students' needs both inside and outside the classroom. That's called Starfish. You're going to hear a lot more about that beginning in August, but we did want to let you know we're excited about that. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you.
I have a brief reminder from HR. Please check your emails and make sure that you are aware that it is open enrollment and everyone needs to go through, right? So everyone checks that email, the directions are there. If you have questions, you can contact HR. I want to remind you that what you do is powerful. I want to remind you to stay positive. And on this Teacher Appreciation Week, find somebody and let them know how much you appreciate what they do. Thank you.